Now, I'm not saying what we're about to do is the most interesting part of the day, but it might have the most action. This right here is a 2002 Oldsmobile Arrow, and it's going for scrap metal. We also have a trunk full of junk and a bunch more to add. So what we're doing right now is getting a little more budget for Project Cheap Street.
Project Cheap Street, which if you haven't already seen, is a 2006 Ford Ranger that we are V8 swapping for my 14-year-old cousin to run an NHRA's Junior Street Drag Racing program.
Now, as often done before, we are using the old auction truck to pull this thing. We like taking Charlie, but she's down on sort of 6.5, 7 cylinders, and we haven't figured out why yet, so we're an auction truck. Which, you know, don't worry, it's got a flat tire, so the trend has continued of everything I go to use is broken. I thought maybe I'd regret the decision to have it flapping in the wind, so. That's better, right? Now, something you should always try and avoid is putting the car on your trailer backwards. Because what that does is make the back of the trailer heavy. And then what you also shouldn't do is put another 300 pounds of generator on the back, because that will make it even worse. That's exactly what I've done. Now what'll happen is that can make your trailer go like this all the time. It's not very pleasant to drive that way. But the good news is we've got lots of trailer brake available. So we can sort it out if it starts to go wrong by applying the trailer brake and matting the gas pedal. That'll sort that out. But in an ideal world, you just, you know, load it properly and then you wouldn't have the issue.
We headed straight over to Bulldog Metals, where I typically drop off my material, and we ran it across the scale where a truck and trailer was weighed. After a thumbs up from the attendant, we headed down the street to where cars are dropped off. After removing my straps, I pulled ahead to where the loader operator told me to wait. While not totally convinced the operator had intended to bust the windows and almost drop the car, I cleaned up the mess on my trailer and returned to the scale to get a final weigh-in and drop all my other materials.
Alright, let's talk about the interesting part now. That car's gone and we're not really sad about it. Now, according to their scale, the car and the genset on the back weighed in at 3,220 pounds. And at 175 bucks a ton, that equaled out to $281, which we're thoroughly pleased about. That puts a pretty big dent in some sort of parts. Now, we also had a starter, and that weighed 14 pounds, worked out to 40 cents a pound. We had an alternator, that was 50 cents a pound, that was $9. Now, we had catalytic converters. A number of months ago, this white truck, we put full exhaust on it, and we cut the cats off of it. Now, I was a little upset about how much it cost for me to do headers and exhaust on this thing, but I'll tell you something. Those catalytic converters were $190 a piece. So that just took $380 off the exhaust bill. That is pretty cost effective in my opinion. We also had 2 catalytic converters we stole from that Ford Crown Victoria that we stole the AOD transmission for Project Ranger. They were worth 20 bucks a piece. And then we had the catalytic converter we stole off the Oldsmobile, and that was 120 bucks. All in all, that was a good day at the scrapyard. Yeah, good day at the scrapyard. Now, I mentioned earlier that I would normally take Charlie to go on a scrap run, but it sort of wasn't running on all of its cylinders. So I elected to investigate that for a couple minutes. Let's get out of the wind. Normally a guy would pull some plugs and have a quick peek on them and see if he could identify a problem spot and go from there. But the deal is, when it's on propane, you don't get the same kind of... I don't know how to read those plugs, because they always just look the same. Propane burns so clean, you don't get a black one or anything. Not that there isn't other things you can read, but we weren't after that kind of adventure today. Instead, I went straight for the cap and rotor. The reason being, I looked at the cap and, well, that isn't right. And then I went to do the rotor, and that's how it came out. So I think maybe I was on the right track. Now look, we got a nice shiny new one in there, and it's blue. Also, there was a little coolant leak that I probably caused by going like this. But anyways, I fixed that too. So hopefully the old girl's back in action for a while. I think that's fixed. So I'd say I could use a new water pump soon. That's a little bit iffy. That one's not straight.
With old Charlie back on 8 cylinders, I headed to my local co-op to fill up with propane and get a little snack. After that, I deemed it high time to go spend some of that scrap metal money on some much needed parts for the Ranger project. Naturally, I headed over to my favorite parts store, Sylvan Auto Parts, where I plan to make a pickup on all the stuff that I had previously ordered from Matt, the owner and resident small block Ford expert. Now, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Sylvan Auto Parts is one of the last little speed shops that's local to me. It's not just the generic parts store. It actually has some performance parts in stock. And if they don't have it, they'll take the time to source it or come up with an alternative. And they won't ask you what engine you have if you're buying wiper blades.
Well, we got boxes of parts behind us, and we are headed home. And as soon as we get home, I'll show you all the parts we got, because it's pretty exciting. And don't worry, we spent all the scrap metal money. I'm not gonna lie, I would have rather done this outside with the Ranger, but it's just so windy out there, you can't hear a thing. So we're here instead. Now, what do you get for $800 worth of scrap metal in Canada? This is a box that says milling on it. Don't remember what it is, just ordered it. It's a cam plate. I thought perhaps mine had a little bit of excess wear on it, so I elected to order one of these. What about this? You can probably guess what this is. It's an oil pump for a small block Ford. It's also a milling piece. These are spark plugs. Yep. They say Autolite on them. They're copper. Good enough. This is a timing chain. It's made by Cloy's. I think Cloy's is good. I asked old Matt Brockroff at Sylvan Lake Auto Parts, hey man, what brand do I buy? He said, I got you. We didn't actually have that conversation. I just texted and said I need a timing chain. Get whatever one you want. It looks like we went for the double roller. Alright, good choice. I approve. Yep. This is a gear. This is also a gear. We've got an advanced style. So we've got a few degrees of adjustment there if we need it. We got different dots and marks and things. Alright. Now this right here. Now this did not come from Southern Lake Auto Parts, so I would have bought it there happily. My local Napa, which I've been going to for, I don't know, 20 years, they had this on the shelf. And they've also had this on the shelf for a very long time. Long enough, as a matter of fact, that the price tag on it, I realized, was significantly less than how much they cost anymore. Like we're talking 40% less than what it costs to buy one new. And this one's new. And what this is, folks, this is a GM top with a Ford bottom, essentially. We've got everything we need. It's like ready to roll. We give it a power and a ground, and this is ready to start. So that's pretty cool. And supposedly it fits, and supposedly it's got the right gear. We'll see. This was shockingly inexpensive. Shockingly. Which concerns me a little bit, like, how good is it? But it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. This here, also from my local Napa, it's a line lock kit. Need a burnout button, just gotta have it. Cousin Eden said she wants to do big burnouts, so burnout button it is. This is just a line kit to assist me in assembly. We also have two special Ford lines because they're metric on the Master. I don't know if I need them or not, but if we need them, we got them. And this right here, also from Southern Lake Auto Parts, this is an oil pump drive. An ARP oil pump drive to be exact. Because I wanted, this is the wimpiest shaft you've ever seen, and I did not want it to fail. And that's the sum total of our parts haul. So that's pretty good. Oh no, I missed these. These are head gaskets. They look like head gaskets. They're to match those Chinese Alibaba cylinder heads. So hopefully they're good. They're 41 thou thick. Which, based on the numbers I got the block cut down and the numbers of my pistons and the numbers of the cylinder heads and all those things that you plug in to do a compression calculation, we should be not very high, but more than stock. 9.5 to 1. Somewhere there, approximately. That's what we're hoping for anyways. Now, I would really like to be assembling all these parts and putting them into the Ranger and doing all the Ranger stuff. However, I haven't ordered any transmission parts yet, so this is still a part. My block isn't ready at the machine shop yet because I told him, don't worry about it. He's got other stuff to do that, you know, keeps the lights on, and I would like to continue using that machine shop, so I figured I better stay on his good side. So it's not here yet, which also is fine because I'm not ready for it because I haven't even taken the engine out of the Ranger. But anyways, we don't have it, which leads us to next weekend. Next weekend is another Friday Night Street Legals. And on Friday Night Street Legals, there's also generally Saturday, Sunday's bracket race. And I would like to try and make it to all of it. I'd like to try and make it in the Jeep. The Jeep has blown a header gasket, and I am tired of the exhaust. That's what we're doing now. We're gonna reorganize in here a couple minutes and drag the Jeep at least partway in, so we're out of the wind, and then we will carry on with that. exhaust is all off, so that's a bonus. We have a couple interesting things to show you. Not things I was expecting, but they've happened. The first thing is this. Now, this is just a wobble joint. You know, because I've got a mount on the frame and a mount on the engine, you put one of these in so that you don't bust your exhaust. However, can you see that problem right there? How about through that way? It got really hot, is what that means. Or it just failed, I'm not sure. But either way, this was a pretty massive restrictive in the exhaust. Now, as you can tell, because of that restriction, all my header tape got real hot and actually just fell off. And underneath, we got a header that, well, it got real hot too. And that's not good. Now, when I pulled this off, all the gasket actually looked like it was in place and everything should be fine. Which led me to believe I had a different problem. And unfortunately, that was correct. The whole inside of this header is blown out. Like it is not okay. It's got a big crack there. It looks like a piece of the metal's missing there. It's just not good. So what we're gonna do, because I don't have a new set of headers and they're hard to get for this thing, I'm gonna cut it off here, weld it up from the inside, cross our fingers, and carry on with life. So I cut it off. It's well, it's worse than I thought, if I'm honest. My finger is there. You probably can't see it. That's my finger. It's not good. My experience, and I don't know a lot about metallurgy, but once metal has started to turn red and flakes off when you hit it, it's junk. And a guy might be able to salvage the flange, but I would say all this pipe is not good anymore. Now, if I have to, I will attempt to repair this. But that's some tricky business in there, and I haven't ever tried to do that. So at best, I need to talk to somebody who has tried to do it. But the reality is, like, this metal that's busted out of here, it's paper thin. Like, it looks worse now that I've taken the header tape off than I thought it would. So, I'm gonna try and locate some headers or manifolds or whatever I can find. And just, this project is on hold for right this second, because if that's broken, that's what that is. That is broken. At least I made a mess in the garage. Come on, guys, we're going for a truck ride. Guess we gotta clear the junk out first, eh, guys? Has anybody ever told you guys how bad you smell? Elvis? You know you smell really bad? Then don't fall out of the truck, okay? You can stick your head out. Don't try and stick your body out, alright? Now the thing we're gonna go see, I've actually owned for a number of years. And it's a horse trailer. I never hauled horses in it, but when we first bought the acreage, I figured what we needed was cows. So I immediately went out and bought a horse trailer to haul some cows. And we bought some cows, and we sold some cows, and we butchered some cows, and we ate some cows. But mostly what I decided is cows are a pain in the neck, and I don't have the ambition to do it. As such, our horse trailer, which hauled cows, not horses, has been sitting, well, dormant for a few years. Oh boy, did I get crooked. Let's see if we can't straighten that mess out a bit. It ain't much to look at, admittedly. And it's a little beat up. But it does have new wheels and tires. It's got good springs. I think it's got new bushings and all the linkages and things. I don't remember anything about the brakes. Matter of fact, I don't think it has any, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, this is next This is next moneymaker project right here. Look at, it's got a Wiley. I always thought that was really cool. They're made in Saskatoon or North Battleford or somewhere in Saskatchewan. So that's kind of neat. We're gonna get this thing cleaned up. We'll throw a coat of paint on it. Try and make it look like something decent. Make all the lights work. And then she'll go on the market. That's the big plan for this. Oh yeah. Now this is unfortunate. Because after it stopped being a cattle trailer, I started using it as a garbage trailer. I guess I never emptied it. At least we have a clear step forward. Are you bored of it already out here? Elvis, where were you that you got so dirty? You in the fire pit again? How did you get so dirty? You go rolling it? What were you doing? Elvis, you're filthy. Scrap aluminum, can't throw that away. Well folks, that'll be it for this episode of Heathen's Garage. Thanks for watching and subscribing. We'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, also I've been working on a new tagline, and it's don't drive boring cars. Because it's not that hard to make something boring interesting, or just buy something interesting to start with. But don't drive boring cars. That's the new Heathen's Garage tagline to go along with built in a barn. But we're not really in a barn today, so it didn't apply.